मीटिंग आपण त्यामधून चालू केलं आता दिसतंय का चालू केलं युअर लाईव्ह ना बरोबर येस डन ओके हा झालं हे माझा स्क्रीन दिसतोय तुम्ही हा गो लाईव्ह म्हटलं अजून काय चालू केलं नाही माझा स्क्रीन मला जर एक काम करणार दिसतंय तरी काय आवाज येतो नाही काय आवाज खूप येतोय बरं युपी मधूनच लॉग इन केले त्यामुळे तुला येतं मी युट्यूब लॉग इन झूमचं हे करा ना
Girish sir, are you able to hear my voice? Girish sir, am I audible to you? Girish sir, make me co-host. Mayuresh sir. Girish sir and Mayuresh sir, I want to give one necessary information to you. The information is, suppose any students want to join with the prefix. For example, FE, FY, SY, TY, don't allow them because they need to participate this event with help of YouTube. Only allow the faculties, Zaki sir, Dr. Zaki Ahmed, Atar Sheikh sir, Dr. Ullah Sheikh. Kishore and Yamuna, I will tell with help of call only. Allow the faculties for the Zoom platform. For remaining students, they have to attend the event with help of YouTube.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Satya sir, should I start?
We will check, sir, whether other sheikhs are joined or not. We will get the confirmation.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just to check, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You are audible, sir.
Am I also audible on YouTube? Okay. Sheikh sir, I think I have made you host. Can you just make me host back because I need to share the screen? You can return. Host the hello, Satya sir. Actually, I have made you host.
Yes,
Can
yes. I am allowing the faculty participants. We will wait for 5 more minutes, sir. We are waiting for the IIC members to join.
Yeah, no problem.
Faculty members are allowed to join with help of Zoom platform, and the student participants join with help of YouTube platform. I am checking in the waiting room. I am allowing my colleagues.
Hello, Satya sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Actually, I have made you host. So
Yes, yes. I am able to allow the participants.
Yeah, Satya sir.
Yes, tell me, sir.
I have made you host. So
Okay.
actually, I should have made you co-host. So can you just make me back host, main host? So I will be able to share the screen and everything.
Okay, I will check it, sir. 1 minute.
Sir, Athar sir will join shortly with next 2 minutes, sir.
ಏನಾದ್ರು ಏನಾದ್ರು
Hello, Mayuresh, sir.
Yes, sir, tell me, sir.
Sir, I'm joined with help of mobile, so I'm not getting that control to make you as a host.
Oh,
So what I will do, I will come out of that meeting. Obviously, you will
Yeah,
become
absolutely.
co-host.
absolutely.
Means host, I think.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, I will try my best. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Because
I think.
another person will become the.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, now I am back to the host. No problem. with
Okay.
that.
Okay. Zaki sir, whether Athar Sheikh sir joined or he is in waiting room. Just check it, sir.
Yes, sir. Checking.
Suppose Athar
Sir.
Sheikh sir in waiting room
Sir.
means kindly allow him.
I just received a call from Athar sir.
Okay.
Currently, he is in lecture and will join shortly with us, sir, within next 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Then.
Yes.
Students, those who have joined from Zoom link, please join it from YouTube link.
Zaki sir,
Yes, sir.
whether Atar Sheikh sir is in waiting room, kindly check it.
No, sir. Actually, this waiting list, I can't see. Sir, should I call him?
Zaki sir, Atar Sheikh sir is in waiting room in the name of Sheikh Atar.
The host must be able to see it, I guess.
Okay, no problem, sir. I will give a guest introduction. You just proceed with the event.
Okay, sir.
You call me.
Yes. Okay, today's speaker, Mr. Mayuresh Kulkarni, respected all head of the departments, all faculty members, and dear participants, a very good afternoon. I, Zaki Ahmed, welcome you all on behalf of CSMSS Chhatrapati Shahu College of Engineering and Institute Innovation Council. Every year on 26th April, World Intellectual Property Day is observed. The event was established by World Intellectual Property Organization, which we called WIPO. It was established in year 2000. The purpose was to raise awareness of how patents, copyrights, trademarks, and design impact on the daily life, and the contribution made by creators and innovators to the development of economics and societies across the globe. This 26th April was chosen as a date for this WIPO or World Intellectual Property Day because it was coincide with the date for which that convention was established. So on this World Intellectual Property Day, our institute, CSMSS Chhatrapati Shahu College of Engineering, along with Institute Innovation Council, has organized this event under the title Idea Generation and Validation, Concepts to Products. To provide the detailed understanding of this topic, we have a very eminent personality amongst us, Mr. Mayuresh Kulkarni, who is presently looking after the responsibility of incubation manager at College of Engineering Pune's Bhau Institute of Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Leadership. I would like to request Dr. Satya Praveen to please introduce the speaker. Sir.
Thank you, Zaki sir. It's my privilege to introduce Mr. Mayuresh Kulkarni sir. Mayuresh Kulkarni sir is working as a startup incubation manager at COEP Bhau Institute, Pune. Mayuresh sir is responsible for incubation support, innovation, and academic institutional MOU responsibility with Bhau Institutes, and he is having very good hold in student networking and very good in event management and outreaching activities happening at Bhau Institute. Mayuresh Kulkarni sir completed his MSc Master of Science in Space Engineering, currently pursuing his doctorate at Savitribai Phule, Pune University. Mayuresh sir expertise is in physics and he is doing research in technology development with respect to IPR, and he is having very good knowledge with respect to IPR patent, and he is very much supportive for patent drafting also. Mayuresh Kulkarni sir having very much expertise with respect to student entrepreneurship skills development. He is having overall experience of more than 10 years experience in scientific research and academics. In his credentials, he is having 6 international peer-reviewed research papers, and he is having 6 patents. He is having his own startup venture related to innovative acoustics and solar products. With this introduction, I am giving control to Mayuresh Kulkarni, sir. Please proceed with your session.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Satya, sir, and also Zakir Ahmed, sir. So let me start the session. Hello, all students. I hope you all are watching and hearing me on YouTube probably, or on the Zoom. So as in the introduction, it was said like I work for Bhau Institute, COEP'S Bhau Institute, that is the Startup Incubation Center. And particularly incubation centers in engineering colleges try to support the early phase startups in various sense. And while working with students, it is always discussed that where it all starts from. So you guys, all students guys, might be thinking like this fancy word which is coming again and again in the larger media, startups. How to start a startup? That can be, the starting question, the burning question. And why to start? First of all, why to start a startup? What is a startup? And why it is now so fascinating to the global media. So it's a quite vast field, and of course, like I'm sure you will be getting more of such a sessions which will be covering various other topics. But initially, it all starts from something altogether new idea. So the whole world, which right now we are living in a 21st century, which is developed by some not so many large number of people, you can say, innovators who have actually changed this world. The all rest who follow that league is, who upscale that innovation. So it's like, large, big companies. So all the people right now who are listening to me, they're either listening it on the mobile or computer or laptop. These all gadgets are made at some point in some companies, really, really big companies. But initially, it all started from the innovation and invention of these gadgets. And of course, gadget is not a singular entity. It needs so many complicated technologies and so much deeper understanding of the physics and science below it. So the point I'm making is when somebody creates altogether new, there is a very good potential that something more useful utility can be developed that reaches to the masses. Okay, so let me, there is some, I just need to maximize the screen so it will be seen properly. Let me check it. Yes. Yeah, now. Okay, let it be. That's fine. Satya sir, am I still audible?
Yes, sir,
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So somehow this full screen is not working properly. Probably you are seeing the next glimpse of the next slide as well. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, on the YouTube, it was a problem. Yeah, no problem. Now it is solved. So anyway, coming back to the topic I was discussing, like it all starts with some new ideas. There is also probably, I wouldn't go right now deeper into the further details, but something new, it can be innovation or it can be invention. There is also some finer line between it. But right now, for today, I would like to discuss more about innovation. And in short, it is the idea which can actually go to the masses. It is not working. There is some problem with this. Okay, is it next slide? Is it on the next slide?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be touching upon few important points here in this talk, and I'll start with the innovation and of course related to the entrepreneurship. I would not go further more in details because it is a quite long discussion. But first point, what is an innovation really? And where it all starts from. So as I previously said, if somebody altogether invents newly, call it as a scientist. So for example, Nikola Tesla or Faraday. So these words, all words, names of the scientists you might have heard in your previous 11th, 12th syllabus. You may remember the Faraday's law. So right now, the fan above at your ceiling, which is running, that the main technology was invented by Michael Faraday. And essentially, he invented something called electromotive force. I'm sure you may be able to, because you're in the first year of engineering, I'm sure you remember that all things. So electromotive force, and there is also, mutual induction, those all things, So he basically invented that in the nature for the first time. So he invented, we can create rotational motion with the expense of some electrical energy. And that is a altogether new invention. It's a principle, you can say. Principle which now there was an avenue to utilize that principle for the practical purpose for the humanity. And that is how the next part, that is something called innovation. So if somebody is using some altogether new idea for the utility of day-to-day life, just like example of fan, it is a new innovation. And there are a few more things, but most importantly, innovation reaches, or it has a potential to reach to the real world problem, or to give the answer to real world problem, provided somebody does it. That is also important. And that is where you guys can come in. And seriously, like whole India is actually looking forward for the next generation like you to become future innovators who will effectively can change the India and also, if not, the world. So this is one of the example that, for example, hybrid electric engine. This is a real innovation because it has a huge potential to actually reach to the masses, and which can ease the lives of many people in the world. So innovation is the practical implementation of idea that results in the introduction of either new goods or services. It can be also services or improvement in the offering goods or services. So it need not be completely, altogether new. It may be the eventual improvisation of previous available, tools as well. So for example, you can say WhatsApp. You can also make a call through WhatsApp, but there was also telephone, normal telephone, which we used to use for calling. But there is an improvement. Of course, now it has changed the world. Have you ever wondered how many people are using WhatsApp in the world? Unfortunately, this is not interactive. I'm not in front of you, but I would like you to, at least wonder about this. How many people are really using WhatsApp? And the number is staggering. The new invention which actually started or came up just, probably a couple of years back, at max 10 years back, it has actually reached to the very significant percentage of the whole world. And that is something, power of innovation that can actually affect millions. It is not going further. Oh, there is some delay. So innovation, for example, Thomas Edison, who created a first record player. And so this is the, nice picture photograph. So this was the first, you can imagine, it's like a DVD player. It is not exactly DVD, but the first time somebody has, encrypted his voice into digitized format. Of course, he has got a patent out of it as well. And he's quite celebrated in the world because he has got more than 1,000 patents, which actually has changed the world. So, as I said, like innovators can actually change the world. So innovation is distinguished from simple creativity. So just being a creative does not mean he or she is making some innovation. So by its emphasis on the implementation of creative idea in an economic setting. So now this next word is coming, economic settings. So we will go to there in some time. But most importantly, there is an emphasis on the implementation. Idea is just idea. Idea may have very huge potential to change the world, but somebody has to utilize that and actually go further, make that solution, and help others. So, but most importantly, why should you care for innovation? That can be the important question. Why somebody would like to make an innovation? This can be the philosophical question. And being a student, I really encourage you guys to start questioning on each pre-assumptions either you are getting exposed to or somebody is making in front of you. So why somebody would like to make an innovation? Most importantly, innovation fixes the world's problem. So this can be extremely relevant for country like India. As I'm sure just 3 days back, 4 days back, there was news that we are now number 1 in the population. Unfortunately, we really don't have that many resources to really grow our all population up to the level of first world, that is developed world. And this is where innovation. So in short, I can say innovation can be our only hope. Fortunately, innovation is helping India a lot. Already it has helped a lot, especially in last 10-15 years. It has actually drastically changed India's scenario that you all are aware of. And even going further, rather now the whole world is actually looking at India because of the various other factors to help world to fix the future problem. So most importantly, again, like you being a technical student, engineering students, I'm sure you are exposed to various program outcomes. Your all staff would agree to me, which is part of the Washington Accord, and India follows the Washington Accord. So all the technical institutes in India are exposed to those program outcomes. If you are not already exposed to, I'm sure very soon you will be actually getting that information through all of your teachers, that there are 12 clear-cut guidelines which is given to UGC, higher education ministry, call it in simple words, authority, that while doing your engineering, these are the most important skill sets you are expected to develop into you. Or rather, as a professor, we are expecting our students to help them to develop those skills. And if you read them carefully, those POs, program outcomes, there are something called POs, there are 12. And there are so many things which are explicitly explained that a good engineer is supposed to identify problems in the society, technical problems in the society. Next, analyze those problems in the society. Third, if possible, try to solve them, try to develop a technology to solve those problems. And this is where you are coming into the picture. So I strongly encourage you to actually read, just Google it later on, program outcomes of engineering. And it will also help you to focus on your career and develop those particular skills, because you are expected to have elevated yourself while reaching to the end of your engineering. But talking about innovation right now, those are exactly in line of innovations. So, and particularly, this is very relevant for the engineering students. So, innovation fixes the world's problem. For example, there is some DNA therapy which was invented quite long back, but it has actually, helped to develop various vaccines and so many biotechnological things, which has actually helped, crores and crores of people. Just a minute, the slide is stuck actually, it's not changing. Okay. Next point, again, innovation makes an economy healthy. So it especially, so in simple words, new jobs are created by innovative startups compared to the existing company. Again, like these are all by itself some topics to ponder upon, like what are simple normal companies, what are startups. I'll be, randomly touching upon some important points. But most importantly, takeaway message here is innovation enables countries or group of people to create large amount of newer jobs which did not exist before. So of course, like IT, various businesses from IT is an amazing example of that. How does it happen? How innovation happens? So basically, in the past, so basically innovation is not the new thing. It's not like humans have started creating innovation recently. It's quite old thing. For example, in the past, innovation used to happen in the isolation. For example, Nikola Tesla, this is a photograph of his lab, and he used to actually go there in the springs, stayed there for months, and used to create some altogether new innovation. But today, there is some problem at my place, changing slide. Again, previously, Walt Disney, as you know, many of the cartoon company is Disney's cartoon. So this used to be its place for making innovation. H&P, Harvard and Brackett's, it was a garage actually he started with. So basically, it all starts from extremely simplistic background without extremely limited resources. How can a society build a culture of innovation? That can be, important question I'll be addressing right now. Similar photograph, Steve Jobs' garage. As you already know, Apple, owner of the Apple, passed away a few years back. This is the first starting point of the Apple. But now, today, innovation works quite differently. It is, especially young minds play very important roles, and innovators are from different organizations. They work together in central locations. So typically, modern businesses where young minds come together, they have a team. So there are some innovators who all together create some new technologies. Of course, firstly, they will have to they identify some problems, and if they think there is some solution they can develop, they go ahead. There is so much process in between. They have to find its feasibility. There is economy. There is complexity of technology and so many other things. But if it is all working well for them, they build a team. They come together, and they work in a team to address various different sub problems to develop that particular startup, and then offers the solution to the society. It may not be physical. This team and this locations may not be physically centrally located. There are also innovation hubs that create constant opportunities for innovators to teach each other. So there can be co-working spaces. The quite related example for you is like colleges are now expected or promoted by governments, various state and central government as well, to create an environment where innovators from their students will come together, they will work together, and they will also learn from each other. So this is also very important point, and this era we are already living in. Innovation hubs allow young entrepreneurs to learn from experienced entrepreneurs. So we have already made the startups before. And now this is where now I'm mentioning this word startup. So what is startup? So we discussed about innovation, but most importantly, as you remember from my previous discussion, it should that innovation, that new solution for the well identified problem in the society, if I develop some solution for that, I will be able to use that solution for my problem. But now, if I would like to offer the same solution to many others, there has to be scalability. It is called simply scaling up the ability to provide this particular solution to others. And that is where the word comes as a startup. So it's like an enterprise. Effectively, what am I offering to others? I'm mainly offering the value because there is some problem to the others. For example, you can imagine the taxis. For probably 150 years, people have been using taxis in the city. But suddenly, for last 10-15 years, people are able to now, that has literally changed our world, like Uber and Ola. We are able to simply call the taxi guy. He knows where exactly am I standing at, and he will come looking for me. This was not existent before. And when that idea clicked to somebody, they actually went further, developed that solution, and made available for the masses. So this is exactly called startup enterprise. And of course, if I will be using their services, I will be offering them some value because they have given me value. They have offered me value. So effectively, I will be exchanging that value in terms of money. That is how world works. So there can be, now the important point is you will need to have some funding for that. You will need, funding is one of them, but you need various other resources. If we talk about funding, typically sources of ideas, there is this pie chart, but most importantly, startup ideas can come from previous work experience. So something is already there existent, and somebody gets a further idea, which can be value addition to the existing idea. There can be, there can be suggestions, educational courses, and so many other things. But most importantly, what is the most essential thing? When somebody gets a startup idea, what is the most important thing is he or she should be able to keenly think about it. So entrepreneurship is the process of creating sustainable business. Sustainable is very important word. And next thing is it is a business. So you are actually being offered value in terms of money for your offerings to the others, whatever solution you have created to ease their day-to-day life. There are two types of entrepreneurship: small and medium, that is also called as SME, and second thing is innovation-driven entrepreneurship or enterprise, and that is where we are interested in. There is some difference that I'm not right now going to touch upon due to limitations of time, but most importantly, innovation-driven enterprise has this non-linear growth. If you could see my pointer. So innovation-driven enterprises has immense potential to grow up extremely fast and reach to the millions and rather billions. So, and particularly in today's era, it is much more possible compared to say 20 years back, 30 years back, or 50 years back. So say 50 years back, a new innovation, even if it is converted into sustainable business, it was unheard of or unimaginable that it would reach to the say 3 billion people like WhatsApp has reached already. in just couple of years. That is a immense potential of idea innovation driven enterprises. Of course, it has so many other factors as well. It is riskier, but more ambitious. So it's like, go big or go home. It will either work or there is also good chance it may not work. But most importantly, that is how, that is what the, hopes of the future humanity is, that they have huge potential to change the world. So out of say 10 startups, probably 8 will fail, but 2 has huge potential to literally change the world. So startup company, it can be a partnership or a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. Repeatable and scalable. So if I make some product, I should be able to repeatedly make it. So I can, make thousands or lakhs of those products and offer to others in, of course, exchange of money. It has particularly become very popular in say roughly 2000, year of 2000. That is also called .com era. Because of course, world got crunched. It was well connected due to there is some disturbance. Somebody's mic is on.
Mayuresh sir, kindly
Yes.
mute Sneha Shinde
1 second. Yeah,
as a host.
she's already muted actually.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know where is it coming from. Okay, I think it's gone. Yeah. Okay. So repeatable and scalable. And this is where you need many other people to be with you to achieve that particular goal. Again, small points. There can be many other things I would like to really tell, but due to lack of time, I'll just focus few important points. Most importantly, a small company is not necessarily always mean startup. A simple company, small company, for example, like, Kirana shop. If somebody is starting Kirana shop, he cannot say, I have started a startup. It's like, small business. But startup has unique characteristics that it is first of all innovative. There is an innovation factor, and it has a huge potential to reach to millions. So it is often based on the technology these days. So it will also need low cost to enter the market, easy to reach many people. And of course, as I said, there is also high risk and very high reward. And that is because of this last point, there is high risk and high reward. There can be many people who might be willing to help you to, offer you some kind of various supports. Of course, funds is one of the. Okay. As I said, like being a student, I encourage you to start thinking and thinking if you could offer some new idea to the world. And I'm sure you will get some new idea. These are some important points quickly. Like, first of all, you should start thinking, is this idea really good? Will it be helpful for the world? A new, very good idea can be, I'm saying not always, it can be also not necessarily always very good to create a startup out of it. Because various other factors must be taken care of. Many successful ideas, they use this word disrupt to an existing market or create a new market which did not exist before. For example, Facebook, Twitter, they have disrupted actually online social networking altogether. You may need for this particularly, as I said, like if you get some new idea, the first and most important thing you should start thinking about is doing market research to validate your idea. So now new word is coming, validation of new idea. So idea is coming, you should be able to validate it. What is that basically? So you should assess or develop business idea and its concept. In simple, what exactly this idea is. Next, assess revenue potential. As I said, like finance is, inseparable part of this whole game. So the relevant question will be, can it make money? Can this idea make money? Will people be willing to exchange money if they are offered this idea? This is foremost important question. There can be, as I said, very good ideas, but people may not be willing to exchange wealth to buy that idea. Because simply for various reasons, but one of the important reason can be they simply don't need it. Next, identify the potential for growth. What is the future of this idea? Some idea can be very, very nice. Surely it may have business potential. It can have very, great revenue potential, but it may not be, sustaining. It can be very, for example, making a mask. We all have, lived that era just 1.5 years back. At the start of the COVID, making mask, I'm saying the face mask, COVID mask could have been very, very, really essential for the society. I'm sure you might know some people who have literally made masks out of simple cloth and sold probably 50,000 at the very before the first lockdown, I'm saying, at that time. But now it is not needed. So surely it was a great idea. It was great. It had a great revenue potential, but now it is not needed. So future of that idea is very, very important. Anyway, how does this whole, if somebody wants to do this all, if he or she would like to change the world, offer, or contribute to the development of the nation in terms of economy and also help others to solve their problems, how does it happen? How will it happen? There are surely some essential skills. And again, you being a student, I would like to, take your attention to this very pinpointedly. And most and foremost important skill is, okay, and this is again stuck. I don't know why. Okay, so excellent communication skills. So student, I would rather even encourage you to just, quickly take down these, titles. This will be very crisp and clear. This will be also helpful for not only if you want to become an entrepreneur or startup, you would like to start a startup. Excellent communication skills. This is coming even before anything about technology. This is coming even before anything further. No finance and everything is coming next. You should be able to express yourself, convey what do you mean clearly. Next, very important point is you should be able to think out of box. Thinking out of box is an extremely important, rather I should say, culture Indian education system should inculcate into its students. So I believe it is us as a professor's responsibility to inculcate out of box thinking into the students' minds, young minds. So then only they will be able to actually identify problems and give the solutions to them, and of course contribute to the growth of the country. Technical know-how, of course, this is where your engineering knowledge can come in. It's not only again related to engineering. First of all, just let me make it very clear. Only engineers are not making a startup. As I said, you need so many other skills. But if you would like to start a startup related to engineering, then of course technical know-how is really needed. Of course, even if it is not related to engineering, of that particular field's technical know-how is also needed. For example, some biotechnology. Somebody is making, altogether new, say, vaccine. Of course, you need to have expertise. You means not a single person can have all of these things. That is where team can come in. So I'll again touch upon that later. Intellectual property. So if somebody gets some new idea, it is worth checking whether is it new altogether in the world for the first time, and if it is so, it is much sensible, secure that. means take a patent. I'm sure you must have heard this word patent. It can be separate, completely separate session for that. Probably in the next to next session, we will discuss more in detail, because again, for engineering student, it can be very, very relevant. Again, the next important point, not least, taxation and compliances. Because a startup which is developed on through the innovation, when you are going to offer that particular solution to millions, you need to follow some rules and regulations imposed by the governments anywhere in the world. And of course, when there is a company at last you are starting, you need to pay some taxes, you need to have some compliances, and so many other things. It totally depends on what is your solution, what is your problem. But of course, and for this, of course, it is not recommended that engineers will start, learning all of these technical things of finance. But that is where you can hire others to help you. Time management. As I already said, like time can be very important factor, because by the time you develop some solution, that reach of that particular solution must be in the market. Marketing strategy. Then now suppose you have made some product, you have surpassed all of those hurdles, but now you should be able to actually reach that, your product should be able to reach to the masses, and that is where marketing should come in. So we need to have the strategy for it, and gouging truly required resources. So you should be able to actually find exactly, if I want to make the startup, what are the truly required things I need. So these all factors, when you have something, then of course you will go for registration. This is again some technicalities, I would not go into deeper. These are some differences. You must have heard these various words: proprietorship, limited liability company, private limited company, and so it is coming, of course, in the future. And of course, very important point is finance. So without finance, you cannot do anything. Considering this all discussion, you have seen, already these existing solutions right now. Our lives are full of like OLX or Ola. This has actually started at very, very lower scale, but now it is already enriching crores and crores of lives. And most importantly, this is made in India. So this can be very, very important, inspiration for all of you, that you are already becoming, innovators and contributors to the development of the future world. Again, I'm sure you know these guys, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. This is just to mention few of them who have actually changed the world. And but the point I'm making here is, try to actually quickly Google like why they have become so successful, and what was new things in their offerings which actually rocked the whole world, literally. So considering this whole discussion, you can imagine entrepreneurs are like modern samurai. Samurai is like fighters in the Japan. So again, like I would encourage you to Google it. There is also an amazing movie, Hollywood movie called Last Samurai, which came about 10-15 years back, 10-12 years back. Amazing movie. I think it also won the Oscar. But the point is, samurai needs to have so many skills, and most importantly, his existence, his passion, his inspiration is to help the society. So the entrepreneurs are also like that they would like to help the society by creating various solutions, overcoming various problems with extreme zeal. So it can be very, very important. Having this brief introduction about innovation and entrepreneurship and startups, especially this is a very important point I just would like to quickly touch upon, that especially in last say 10 years, India has grown a lot, especially in last 5 years, completely startup ecosystem. Again, this ecosystem word, you can just drop it right now, but point is culture. I should use the word culture. Startup culture in India has grown multifold, and we are already, we have entered into the world statistics. And especially if you see this trend in the left-hand side graph, you can actually see India is now in 2020, it is already at the rank of around 20. So it's a huge, growth of the startup in India. And if you consider the city-wise, we are even in the top 10. So Bangalore is already in world's top 10 country who is having the startups. So it's a really great thing. I wouldn't again go much in detail. This is some more other details. So I would better focus on my further discussion. I think it is, I've taken some good amount of time. If you guys have any questions, I don't know how will you be able to send your questions to me, but right now I can, take your questions. Ahmad sir, Zaki Ahmad sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you receive any question? Because I would rather like to be more interactive with the students. So if you have any questions.
Let me just check, sir, if
Yeah,
there is any question. Just 1 minute. Yes, sir. There are no questions.
Okay. So, okay, I'll just take some more time. Just I wanted to briefly, touch upon few points. Just a second. I was just stressing important point that this whole culture of startup, which is already, India is successfully able to adopt in very short time, is already working amazingly well. And we are already, especially and being a youth of India, we are already making great impact in the world as well. This is typically the graph of India's number of startups. And of course, you see Maharashtra has the largest number of startups. So to help these young minds, which have created altogether new solutions, which has a potential to reach millions, there are various kinds of supports available. Of course, I said like finance can be very important support, and government has various governments, state and national, are helping those young minds financially as well through various schemes. But along with that, there are also something called incubation centers, like our institute, Bhau Institute, where these young minds are also offered other kinds of supports as well, like if they need space, if they need some equipments. It totally depends which kind of startup, which kind of field they are working in. But just imagine, suppose if somebody makes something, new mechanical gadget, he or she, or of course, group of those people might need some essential things to test their solution. For example, like a drilling machine or cutting machine, or it can be even modern technologies like 3D printing or laser cutting. So of course, a new startup or new enterprise cannot simply, buy these gadgets, which may not be useful, because as I said, like some startups will work, some may not. So these tools are centrally made available to those young minds who want to actually try their ideas to grow and help others. So there are roughly 700 incubation centers already in India, and of course growing. And around 1 lakh startups are already recognized in India. So it's a huge impact. And out of these only in the future, there might be, future Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. And surely like you guys can be one of them. So I would like definitely to encourage you to think what contribution you would like to make in the future world. There are also some challenges. So these are actually, my slide is not easily changing. So I have to getting stuck. Okay. So these are some technicalities. Again, we will go more in detail later on if needed in the next session. So various kinds of supports are available, where are various kinds of government initiatives are available in terms of funding. And yeah, so this is a bigger graph of the various fundings available for the students. Why am I showing students these? You don't need to, take immediate notes of this, but point is there are so many helps are available today. And this is an amazing time for students to actually try out your startups. And just I'll close with the simple sentence that if somebody does try to start a startup, innovation-based startup, say for 1 year, and later on decides to go to job, still in that 1 year, there is a good chance that he or she has learned so many different skills, which I have shown you, like communication skills and many others, presentation skills, that otherwise that student might not have received if he has done that 1 year job. So point is, it is a great enriching experience if somebody goes to this down the path. But again, like innovation is the essential part. And for that, only and only essential skill, I would say, a student should have is, try to think out of box. So thank you so much. This is where I will stop. If there are still some questions, I can address it too. Particularly, this talk was about innovation. So I'm trying to restrict myself to that. So it will be helpful for students particularly. I don't know if who are watching the YouTube, what is the channel for their questions? I can take the questions. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, Mayuresh sir, for your very resourceful and knowledgeable presentation. I hope the students have taken the essential points with which now they are really in the direction of startup. First year, second year students, you have more scope to decide in what direction you may start or you may go for. I hope all the guidelines, all the information which are presented over here are well received and understood to each and every of you. I would like to add one more point here, that our institute also has Institute Innovation Council, and continuously under the supervision of respected principal sir and Satya sir and all the HODs, we are promoting research and innovation. So you may take benefit of it. In fact, incubation center facility is also available. So you may think for it. Now I request Professor Satya Praveen sir to give vote of thanks. Sir.
Thank you, Zaki sir, for
Satya sir. Sir, we lost your voice.
Zaki sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank our respected principal, Dr. Ullah Shinde sir, for giving the opportunity to conduct the event on the day of Intellectual Property Day. I want to thank Mayuresh Kulkarni sir, especially for giving a wonderful session about the innovation, startup, how the innovation happens, what kind of skill sets required. You have given numerous examples with respect to last century startups, means the innovation also. And you have given brief information about the funding mechanism also. And I want to thank our IIC members, all HODs, faculties, and the students participants. At the last, I want to thank our management also for providing continuous support to collaborate with the COEP BAU to organize the various events with the help of IIC. Thank you. Thank you to all. Okay, sir. With this, we will conclude the session. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mayuresh sir. So we conclude this meeting. You may
Yes,
please
sir.
leave.
We will conclude.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.